Okay, let's roll right into our post-race for today's 42nd annual Aaron's 499, conducted here at Talladega Superspeedway. A couple of notes: the margin of victory, Jimmy Johnson over Clint Bowyer, 0.002 seconds. It ties the all-time closest margin of victory since the advent of electronic scoring. Also tied today a series record 88 lead changes, which was set a year ago in this exact race. Clint Bowyer, you won last fall here. You were awful strong here again today. Talk about this race here this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, the whole race was fun. BB&T Chevrolet was fast all weekend. It's the same hot rod that we won with in the fall, and you know, just proud of the guys and everybody at ECR Engines. You know, you can't say enough about their efforts and the job they've done. You know, we didn't sit on the front two rows, but you know, we were up front. All 6 engines were up front. You know, pretty much all day long. So proud of their guys, proud of their efforts, and you know, just come up short. Man, what a bummer. You know, I saw him coming, and we were 24 and I were, you know, trying to suck off each other and break each other's momentum and drag racing each other so much. I was like, oh no, block him, block him, block him. And I knew if he dipped down to block him, you know, that we had to race one, but we just come up short. You know, it's frustrating. I know the importance. You know, getting a race win right now is big. You know, that win, if I'd have won right there, it could have put me in the chase. You know, I was thinking about that. That's going to be important throughout the year, and you know, that was a good shot at it. It just slipped through our fingers.
Questions now for Clint Bowyer. Raise your hand. State your name, affiliation. Over your left shoulder is Dave Rodman.
Clint, Dave Rodman with NASCAR.com. Could you speak about how much you were able to work with Kevin today, how much you were compelled to work with him, and how different it is finding partners and staying with partners in this type of racing than it was in the big pack racing?
Well, I'll start with that. It's very difficult to stay with a partner all day long. I mean, my partner, you know, was Jeff Burton. I hated that we got, you know, separated there. It happened, you know, when the caution that didn't happen when Ryan Newman spun down there, everybody lifted. Everybody thought the caution was coming out, and I looked in the side mirror, and he gathered it up. And I looked up, and it was still green, so I was like, oh, man. And, you know, Jeff and I were way separated, and luckily Kevin had got separated from his guy and still had the momentum that I did. We hooked up and were able to go on. But I hated that for Jeff. You know, that very spot right there put him back in the field, and I don't know where he finished, but you know, it separated us. So it was very difficult to keep together. But like I said, when Kevin and I got hooked up, we were able to work well together. We were talking amongst each other. We were down and out. You know, that was the biggest thing about it. Kevin and I was pushing him, and his car wouldn't lead at all. You know, we were bad. We fell clear back to 17th, I think, with 4 to go, and I was like, we've got to switch. We've got to do something. Everybody's blown by us, and we switched there in the front straightaway and you know, drove all the way back up through them and had ourselves in position. So we tried.
Next question for Clint. Let's go up to the press box, see if anybody's got any questions in the press box for Clint Bowyer. No questions right now. We'll come back downstairs here to Jeff. Go ahead.
Clint, throughout the weekend, and I guess since Daytona too, there's been sort of mixed reactions about the 2-car draft. Junior said all weekend he hates it, and some drivers that got spun out today said they didn't like it. But after that finish, I mean, what do you think is going to be the general reaction of the garage after
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what happened throughout that race and what your thought was. If you didn't like that finish and it didn't make you forget about the race, you're crazy. I mean, it's something about that. It just makes you forget about it. It makes, you know, if it was a problem, it ain't a problem anymore. You know, it always seems to fix itself at the end of these restrictor plate races. It doesn't matter who's up there, you know, whether it's 10 cars or you know, 43 cars left. It's always a hell of a finish at these plate races, and always comes right down to the wire for whatever reason. You know, that wasn't a green-white checkered. It was, you know, you thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, and it never, you know, never presented itself. But it was still, you know, an unbelievable finish.
Back up top. Any questions? Press box. Nothing. How about downstairs? Don has one here, right here, please. Okay.
Any satisfaction to know that you're made NASCAR history as losing a race by?
Hell no. That sucks. It's not very good to know you made NASCAR history by losing. I want to know, sooner or later I need to start making history by winning. That guy's won enough. The only thing that bums me out about that, is those guys lag back, all day long. That's what makes it tough, losing by somebody that did that. We were up front for our sponsors and our team and digging all day long. And when you get it taken from you right there at the end by somebody lag back all day, it's hard to take.
Back in the back, Dave. He rated Bowyer lead the most laps.
Brand Strickland, Aniston Star. How much? Two questions. How much deliberation was put into swapping? I mean, was there any fear that you would fall further behind, or did y'all talk about it long before you did it?
It really just depended on your temperatures. How you were able to manage that, and then once you got together, if you're 3 wide, you couldn't manage it anymore. You couldn't duck out, and you couldn't get air. As long as you were 2 wide and out front, Jeff and I were able to manage it and pretty well push each other the whole time. No different than Michael and I did at the beginning of the race. He never did, switch. So if you were able to manage it and your car would do it, it was capable of it. The guys have worked hard on making sure that it does that. And, some instances it wasn't even necessary.
I know, but that last swap that you talked about, did y'all talk about that?
It was necessary. No, we got past. We found ourselves 17th from the lead, and when that happens, something's wrong. We got to switch something up.
Do you think you would have been any better at the end of the race with Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was ashamed that we got separated. We worked well all day together. Jeff's a great teammate. I like him a lot. I appreciate everything he's done for me. And, that's just one of those situations where it sucks. You wish that the guy that helped you get there was the guy that, got the reward, and unfortunately he did. And I don't know where he even finished. I mean, I don't know, but that's the frustrating part about it.
Jeff, I think, finished 16th, Clint.
Yeah.
Other questions for Clint? Anybody else? Well, Clint, thank you very much. Great show out there. We'll see you in Richmond.